Wow, what a game this is. You know it's special when the world number 5 gets whooped in 32 moves. The Indian superstar Pragg did it. Vincent Keymer was playing black and started with the king pawn. It was all super symmetrical here. A horse box on the board, or tour de force, tour de horse. Bishop b5, supposed to be very drawish at the highest level. Watch what Pragg does here. It's a brand new tournament. Started today, 1st of July in Croatia. The super blitz and rapid event, Grand Chess Tour. This is the rapid part of the tournament. Clock time's on the left here, and already it gets a bit kooky. This move offers some stuff. For starters, a pawn. Can't you just gobble that? Didn't happen. We're in the back cave here. If you do this, this is how the line goes. You do win the pawn back. Very, very drawish. So we didn't see the pawn captured. If you take the knight, similar kind of lines, different game, but you get an exchange of pieces, mass liquidation, and white can even be a smidge worse here. Not the way that white wants to be playing the game. Let's back it up. In this game, we saw bishop e2. Now that's unusual. Bishop a4, bishop c4, more common. It offers a bishop that wasn't captured. The knight was taken instead. Normally you want those bishops, right? But okay, Vincent's saying it's a closed pawn structure here. Knights hop very nicely. Your bishop's not so hot right now. That's why I'm going to snaffle that one off. Get my own bits into the game. And now, do we see castles? d3? No, it's knight a4. You don't normally want to move the same piece twice in the opening. Stick it on the edge of the board, no less. But it just gets weirder. Pawn d6. Vincent says, have my bishops. They both castle the king. Quick king safety fist bump. Exploded out over the board. Great etiquette. This is what it looks like when it goes wrong. And it allows knight takes. And this is weird. Because normally, if you give up your bishops, you want to at least compromise the enemy pawn structure. But Vincent's lost the bishops, and he's left with a structure that only a mother could love. What's he playing at here? We now see pawn d3, bishop e6 looks natural, but Vincent builds the banana hammock over there. Please don't tell me he's preparing to fianchetto the rook. We'll see it one day. Bishop e2 now from Pragg. Really looks like he wants to launch that f-pawn, but with this bishop now no longer defending e4, watch this. The explosive c4 on the board, saying if you take here, I'm going to take your central pawn. So we didn't see that played. b3, Pragg going for the light squared pawn side quest, takes on d3, bishop recaptures. It's the bishop that wanted to be a seesaw. And now finally, Vincent gets his bits out here. Just the major pieces to go. We see bishop a3, a hyper fianchetto. Was it a wrist slip? Don't think so. Hits the rook. Does it move? No siree. The advance of the c-pawn blunts this bishop, clamps on this square. Now we see bishop b2 hitting a pawn. Queen defending here, and this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Pawn f4. Pragg roars like the mighty lion that he is. Gaining space, opening the board for his bishops, especially this one. But once the pawn goes, the e-pawn could advance. This one breathes life. Taking's actually best. Looks so counterintuitive to allow your own structure to be shattered. But apparently black can kind of hold on here. Something like this. Play for the queens off the board. But in the game, c4 was played. Now it really looks nice. Using these two pieces to ram home that pawn. Takes was played, and now can't you take here? That sort of thing. No, you can't. White's got the in-betweener of takes here. You know, you wouldn't recapture straight away. You'd take on e5, and that's really good for white. Big winning attack. So takes on f4 was played. Best move. But it allows not even the smash and grab of a piece here will not grab, but smash of the structure. But pawn e5. And this knight is getting horribly discombobulated. The bishop's had its eyes opened. Check was played. King h1 and knight g4. Goes for the tricks down here. Can white get out the forking way without having to give the exchange? This is the big question now. Knight d7 was apparently more precise. Looks a bit passive, but this has some problems to it too. And if queen e1 to cover the square, white remains better, but it's not as good as this next move, this brilliancy that Vincent must have missed from afar. Bishop d4, hitting the black queen, defending the f2 square, and you cannot capture, or in the words of Hikaru, you get fossilized. That's a dead lost game. So that's why the queen had to back up. Queen e1 is now very strong. Upon queen g5, there's then queen e4. Subtle stuff. Not played though. Rook takes played instead. Very natural move. Now after queen g5 though, rook f3 is the best move. This queen not quite so active as before. And black can enter the game a little more. Activate the rook. Still white remains better though. In that last position, by the way, if you'd have captured a pawn, not really helping your cause. You're just opening lines of attack for the bishops. The rook, I'll pause there. It's not fun. White's doing great. So the pawn wasn't touched. Bishop attacked. Now defended. This time there really was a threat to take it, because at the end of the lines with the tactics, you'd get two bishops for a rook. Not ideal. Let's go here. Because Vincent takes this pawn now, hits the rook on f3, it slides to g3. Obviously, we talked about the fact that taking this pawn's not ideal. Still, it's not ideal here, although you did kind of have to take it. If you're going to die, at least die with a full tummy. Queen's attacked. What's the best move? It's knight g4. And it gets really tactical. If you play pawn h3, the natural idea... Then there's this. Rook takes on d4. Because the point is, after takes, you've removed this attacking bishop. You can now play check. King goes. You take here with check. King recaptures. And then you take down here. And when all's said and done, materials level should be a roughly drawn game. Let's back it up. We didn't see pawn h3. Pragg starts with the queen maneuver. Now he's covering that f2 square. No knight checks going on here after rook takes. This was the other point, that the bishop's covering f2. So he is threatening h3. h5 in response. Now upon h3 played, you're going to see the move to go with queen h6. Because after takes, there's pawn recaptures with check. And after king sidesteps, you win a queen. Or if you block with the rook, still it's really good for black. However you decide to take. Let's back up. We didn't see queen h6. We saw queen h4. Really similar idea. Pinning this pawn, but this one's dead lost. Because now, after king g1, unpinning, threatening to take the knight, black's in a world of pain. You can't move the knight back here. Obviously, if you move here, you just lose that piece. It's attacked twice. Queen can take back once, but the pawn is pinned to the king. If you head this way, well, you're terribly passive and white's breaking through on g7. This actually leads to a mate. Beautiful. Bishops and rook. Look at the power of these lasers stacked on top of each other here. So we saw rook takes on d4, of course. The same defensive idea, removing that powerful, unopposed bishop. If you try this stuff, way too passive, that created a threat. Queen goes away. Now you can move in with the pieces here, start threatening things. Threatening mates very soon as well. This one also threatens a mate. f6, win a pawn. It's awful. Let's back it up. We didn't see knight h6. Knight e5 was desperately tried. You're going to see the idea. Of course, Vincent sees he's giving an entire piece, but check is his point. That's a loose rook on a1. King h2. Capture the rook. No, not played. If you do it, there's rook takes on g7 check. King takes. Queen f6 check. And because you've got this second attacking piece, you could even call the pawn a third. The king gets driven to the corner. Then you deliver the checkmate using the power of the bishop and queen, the kind of staircase thing. So after king h2, we saw h4 desperately flicked in. This move doesn't help either. You threaten mate or a queen exchange. Queens go, white's a rook ahead. This was flicked in, but same idea. Rook takes on g7 finished the game. What an attack by Pragg. Check with the queen, and we saw resigns. Because if you step back, same kind of staircasing, delivers a mate. Beautiful game there by Pragg. Whooped Vincent Keymer. That's the end of day one. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a look at the video on the screen if you want to see another epic game of chess. Cheers.